Welcome to The Explainer. I am so incredibly excited you're joining us today because we are taking on a massive, highly requested, and honestly fascinating challenge, which is demystifying modern travel in China. If you've ever even thought about visiting, you've probably heard a wild mix of amazing travel stories right alongside some pretty intimidating logistical warnings. Well, our goal with this new China Travel Unlocked series is to strip away all of that anxiety. We're going to give you the complete Foreigner's playbook for modern travel, breaking down the essential logistics and cultural shifts you need to know before you even pull your suitcase out of the closet. Okay, let's dive right in. For a lot of first-time travelers, planning a trip to China feels like a tangled, chaotic mess of wires and warning signs. It just feels overwhelming. But our core mantra for this entire explainer is actually really simple. China isn't difficult to travel. It's just different. Traveling here is a total paradigm shift. Once you understand the system, the whole country opens up, and you seamlessly transition from that anxious survival mode to exploring with the absolute confidence of a local. So, to get you to that point of total clarity, here's our roadmap for today. 1. Unlocking modern China travel. 2. Visas and digital connectivity. 3. The cashless ecosystem. 4. Essential apps and transit. 5. Navigating daily life. And finally, 6. The Insider Playbook. Section 1. Unlocking Modern China Travel, the 7-stage roadmap. The absolute best way to master China is by understanding that your preparation needs to follow a strictly chronological journey. Guided by our digital traveler, this S-curve naturally mirrors your actual progression on the ground. Master the sequence, and you master the journey. Think about it. You can't pay for things if you aren't connected to the internet, and you can't get connected if you didn't prep your digital life before you arrived. It's literally a chain reaction. Arrive, connect, pay, move. Get your tools, live the daily nuance, and finally, travel like a pro. Following this exact order is what prevents you from hitting a brick wall on your very first day. Moving to Section 2, Visas and Digital Connectivity. Prepare before you land. Here is a vital rule for modern travel. Your trip actually begins way before you board your flight. But physical entry itself is surprisingly straightforward, completely shattering that old myth that getting into China is some bureaucratic nightmare. Depending on your passport and your plans, you might actually qualify for visa-free entry or maybe a 240-hour visa-free transit if you're connecting to a third country. If neither of those applies to you, there's the standard tourist or L visa, which is just an online application. And the flow at the airport is incredibly standardized. You fill out an arrival card, use the immigration kiosks to scan your fingerprints, clear customs, and exit. That's it. You're in. But getting physically through the airport doors, that's really only half the battle. Back in your home country, you absolutely must download your eSIMs, install your VPNs, and grab offline translation apps like Pleco or DBell. And there is a crucial step here. You have to verify that your home country SIM is active for SMS verification. Why? Because the exact second you land in China, without prior setup, your access to Google, the app stores, WhatsApp, Instagram, and Facebook will be blocked, just instantly. You cannot wait until you get to your hotel lobby to figure this out. You have to prepare your digital life before you land. Section 3. The Cashless Ecosystem. Living through the QR code. All right, let's tackle the single biggest point of anxiety for foreign visitors. How on earth do I actually pay for my morning coffee? Burn this into your memory right now. You do not need a Chinese bank account to thrive here. You just don't. You simply take your foreign Visa or MasterCard and pipe it directly into Alipay or WeChat Pay. The action steps are so simple. Complete the foreign passport registration inside the app and link your credit card. Once you do that, boom, you are part of the ecosystem. Cash is strictly a backup plan now. In China, QR codes are king for absolutely everything, from tiny street vendors selling dumplings to 5-star high-end hotels. So the crucial point here is how remarkably seamless the actual transaction process is. Forget digging around in your pocket for a wallet. Here is the QR workflow masterclass in 4 easy steps. Step 1, find the merchant's printed QR code on the counter. Step 2, open your app and scan it. Step 3, type in the amount you owe. Step 4, confirm, and you'll see that deeply satisfying green checkmark. Paid. And hey, if your card happens to decline, do not panic. The pro tip is to just try your alternate app. So if Alipay fails, switch to WeChat. If that fails, hand them physical cash. But honestly, be prepared to watch them awkwardly rummage around for change. 99% of the time, this 4-step tap and go is your reality. Section 4, Essential Apps and Transit. Moving like a local. Okay, you're in the country, you are online, and you can buy things. Now, it's time to actually move around and explore. A super common misconception is that you need a folder of 20 confusing, untranslated apps to survive. You really don't. You just need to embrace a less is more app stack. You're basically just swapping your home defaults for China essentials. So instead of Apple Pay, you use Alipay or WeChat. Instead of Booking.com, you use Trip.com, swap Trainline for 12306, Uber for Didi, and remember that Google Maps is notoriously unreliable here, so switch to AMAP or Apple Maps. Finally, trade Google Translate for Pleco, DeepL, or Baidu Translate. 6 tools. That is literally all you need to replace your entire Western digital toolkit. What is truly fascinating about all this is how beautifully this simple app stack integrates directly into China's world-class physical infrastructure. Take the high-speed rail, for example. You book your ticket on Trip.com or 12306, but you don't print anything out. Your physical passport is your ticket. You just swipe it right at the gate. For ride-hailing, Didi is embedded directly inside Alipay or WeChat. And because you enter your exact destination digitally, it completely eliminates any language barrier with your driver. And for the metro, just use the dedicated QR transport codes right inside Alipay. Oh, and do keep in mind, you'll need to pass mandatory security screenings at every train and metro station entrance, so just pack accordingly. Section 5. Navigating daily life, culture, and nuance. Getting the logistics down is great, sure, but shifting from merely surviving to actually thriving requires understanding everyday cultural nuances. Let's start with where you sleep and how you eat. At the hotel front desk, foreign passport registration is legally mandatory. This is exactly why you should always use platforms like Trip.com, just to ensure the specific hotel you're booking is legally licensed to accept foreigners. Now, meals here are a communal experience, so expect to share dishes on a lazy Susan. You won't wave down a waiter for a menu either. You'll just scan a QR code right on the table to order, which conveniently auto-translates the menu for you. And perhaps most importantly for Westerners, China has a very strict no-tipping culture. Seriously, do not leave cash on the table. It's just going to confuse the staff, and they might literally run out into the street to hand your money back to you. Let's look at a few more daily realities that will make your life so much easier. First up, public restrooms. Expect squat toilets in many areas, and I cannot stress this enough. Always, always bring your own toilet paper and hand sanitizer. They are rarely provided, and discovering that a little too late is a culture shock you definitely want to avoid. Second, personal space. China has incredibly dense crowds, and queuing norms differ from the West. Navigate them patiently and learn to assert your space politely but firmly. Finally, when you're back on those amazing high-speed trains, utilize the free hot water stations in every single carriage. They're perfect for tea or instant noodles. Store your luggage efficiently and just observe the generally quiet, relaxed behavior expected in your seat. Section 6. The Insider Playbook. Your digital hub. We have covered a tremendous amount of ground today. Let's aggregate everything into a cohesive, pro-level mindset with 5 unspoken rules. Number 1. Keep your physical passport accessible at all times. It is your ultimate lifeline for hotels, trains, and attractions. Number 2, discard your Western travel habits. What works in Europe simply is not going to work here. Number 3, live through the QR code. From renting portable power banks on the street to tipping local street musicians, the QR code is the absolute center of daily life. Number 4, always pack a digital safety net, meaning offline maps and offline translation are your ultimate backup when connections fail. And number 5, do not be afraid to ask for help. Locals are highly accommodating and usually very aware of the tech gap that foreigners experience. Let them assist you. All of these rules build toward the ultimate realization of modern Chinese travel. Once you've properly set up your digital hub before landing, traveling in China is arguably more seamless than in the West. A single device, your smartphone, now controls your entire physical world. It opens the high-speed train gates, it pays for your taxi, it registers you at the hotel desk, and it orders your food at the restaurant table. It is, in every sense of the word, your digital passport. Which brings us to this really empowering final thought. Once you understand the system, the country opens up. The friction just disappears, and you are left to simply enjoy the rich history, the incredible food, and the stunning landscapes. Now, I do want to add a quick reminder here. Travel rules, visa policies, and app features evolve pretty rapidly. Always, always verify current entry requirements and limits with official sources right before you book. So, as we wrap up this explainer, I want to leave you with a question. The mysteries are solved, the firewall is breached, and the QR codes are scanned. Now that you have the complete playbook to travel China like a true local, where will your digital passport take you? Thanks so much for exploring this topic with me, and I hope you feel entirely unlocked and ready for your next adventure.